this person. The question today for me is, was this a performance or a pivot? We'll see soon enough. If he starts tweeting again against newspapers and against networks and against Hamilton and Broadway plays and department stores and all sorts of things, you know it was a performance and it didn't have a lasting impact.
Hasn't tweeted yet this morning.
By the way, hasn't tweeted, as far as we know, in about 72 hours or any or angry knee-jerk tweet. And so what does that tell you?
Well, that's my point about what's the lesson going forward. The lesson is leadership, optimism, that the president's power derives much more from those two than the counterpunch. But you've got to look back. The man has never been in public office before. He is the outsider the country sought to fix what's wrong with Washington. There are things he's going to learn along the way. And if this is one of the lessons, to shift from being the counterpuncher to win a campaign, being the president who governs for all, is going to be true. Hate him and all. Him. But there are others who are persuadable, and that's the center that the president has to push toward. He has to grow his base.
Even if they don't like it, because I get your political reality.
Republican strength.
Dominoes fall the right way to have a repeat of what happened in this election, but you're right about the governance.
Government
you're
first.
Right. Absolutely. And better. The Democrats are going to have to make a choice. The lawless chaos part only, or do they want to hear the compromise part? What do you think the inclination?
It's not just Democrats versus Republicans. It's Republicans versus Republicans on a lot of these plans. They don't have agreement on health care. That's why the affordable surprises me. It surprised the Hill. That's not something that's even going to maybe come up until next year. So they need to get their own house in order and figure out what their plan is, or if there is a plan, and then Democrats will look at the specifics and they'll look at the details and they'll see if this is something that will still make sure people have health care, that will still make sure middle class taxes are protected, and you know, we'll see how that goes.
Were there specifics and policy that you liked last night?
I like the rumors about immigration that came out yesterday during lunchtime, but that he did not mention in detail. An immigrant, at least, you know, once. It is sad to me that he uses these platforms to just paint with a very broad brush all focus on criminals and focus on murderers and focus on all of this, and doesn't focus on some of the positive stuff.
Panel of all-stars, thank you very much. Great to talk to all of you. So this is the moment that had the sides, both sides of the aisle unified. This was the president's tribute to a fallen Navy SEAL and his widow and her very emotional response. We'll show you more next.